Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Jack requested Jocelyn to serve and protect. Colette informed Jack that the PCPD had just brought Jason in for questioning. Carly interrupted their conversation, so they didn't have much time to talk about it. She thanked him for fixing her plumbing the night before, but she also had an admission to make. If Jack had not received a phone call, Carly had planned to invite him to spend the night. It would have been a huge mistake. Or maybe I am just worried for nothing, and you would have just turned me down anyway, Carly told me. Jack stated that he would have stayed if she had asked. Carly revealed that she rethought everything and didn't want to sleep with Jack until she understood where their relationship stood. Jack wasn't sure how they should call themselves, but he was willing to take his time and figure it out. Anna informed Jason that the only items left at Cyrus' cabin were 2 pieces of hair identified as Jason's. He insisted he had never been to Cyrus' cabin and had an alibi to prove it. Anna felt it strange that Drew was his alibi, but she exited the interrogation room when she saw Jocelyn. Anna was horrified to find that the DA's office had officially withdrawn her from the Cyrus case, citing her lack of objectivity toward Jason. When Jocelyn learned Jason was likely to be charged, she spoke up. "You don't understand. Jason didn't do it," she said. Joss didn't get very far with Anna, so she hurried to see Jack. Colette called Jack and gently informed him that Jocelyn was present. Jack hung up and told Carly that the PCPD had just arrested Jason. That spurred Carly to leave, allowing Jocelyn to storm into Jack's office without being caught by her mother. Jocelyn began shouting in Jack's face, asking that he do something because the police believed Jason had murdered Cyrus. "And I don't know how, but somehow Jason's DNA ended up in the cabin," Jocelyn told me. "Because we put it there," Jack explained, shocking Joss. Jack said that Jocelyn did an excellent job of tracking down Cyrus but did a terrible job of establishing a clean crime scene, therefore they needed to identify another suspect. "Jason fit the bill nicely," Jack reasoned. He also told Joss that Jason was not going to prison because Cyrus' body would never be discovered. Jocelyn didn't think she could be a part of this, so Jack advised her to just utter the word, and he'd make sure Cyrus' body was discovered and a full investigation began. "Can you promise me Jason won't go to prison?" was the question. Jack nodded in agreement, so Jocelyn decided to keep her mouth quiet. Jack once again suggested that Jocelyn join the WSB. "I am asking you to serve, to protect, to do your part," stated the soldier. Jason said in the questioning room that he didn't have anything to say without his attorney. When the ADA exited the room, Anna inquired whether Jason had offered his alibi. The ADA swiftly directed Anna to bring Jason's alibi to the station. Carly arrived quickly and received some answers from Anna. She was stunned to find that Cyrus was to blame for Dex and Sam's murders and that Jason had publicly vowed to kill Cyrus. Carly was relieved to discover that Jason claimed to have an alibi just before Drew and Willow appeared. Drew welcomed Alexis into his new home so Maxie could ask her how Scout wanted her room furnished. Alexis felt confident that whatever Maxie chose would be amazing. When Maxie left the room, Alexis used the opportunity to inform Drew that Cyrus had slain Sam. Alexis didn't think he should inform Scout at this moment because she was too young to handle such bad news. Drew agreed with Alexis, which pleased his former mother-in-law. Willow showed up after Alexis departed, but Drew was disappointed to find Nina with her. Maxie took Willow to another room to look at window treatments, leaving Nina and Drew alone to talk. "If you think this place is going to have a mother-in-law suite, think again," Drew warned you. "If you think I am ever going to be your mother-in-law, think again," Nina told her. She reminded Drew that Willow and Michael were not even divorced yet. Drew did not appear to care. "I think Willow will do whatever makes her kids happy, and that includes marrying me and making our family together. It's only a matter of time, Nina, so you either get on board or lose Willow again." "It's really up to you," Drew told you. Nina accused Drew of pressuring Willow into making a decision she was not prepared to make. Drew reasoned that Willow was an adult, while Nina pointed out that she was still vulnerable. Nina assumed Drew was only trying to outperform Jason. So, Jason got Sasha pregnant, and you have to prove you can do it too? Drew reminded Nina that he already had 2 children, thus he could get a woman pregnant. Drew decided Nina was jealous of his and Willow's connection, which Nina dismissed. Willow and Maxie eventually returned to the living room. As Drew and Willow were about to depart to pick up Scout's new bed, the cops called and asked Drew to come inside to chat. Willow accompanied him. When Nina was alone, she begged Maxie to help her stop Willow from moving in with Drew. Maxie was surprised when Nina requested her to break into Drew's safe. "I know Drew. He might look all Boy Scout on the outside, but on the inside, he's as corrupt as they come," she said. Maxie suggested Nina simply tell Willow the truth about her affair with Drew rather than searching for evidence of undiscovered wrongdoing. Nina reasoned that while she wanted to give Willow the truth, Willow needed her. "If I tell her the truth, she'll be on her own," Nina insisted. Maxie threatened Nina that if she didn't accept Willow and Drew's relationship, she would drive them closer together. Nina persisted, and Maxie intimated that the combination to Drew's safe was in a folder on the coffee table. Lucas overheard Brad ask Felicia about the Florida Symposium itinerary. He was impressed that Portia had chosen Brad to go. Brad tried to make plans with Lucas when they were in Miami. Before Lucas could reply, Selena appeared behind Brad. Selena grabbed him aside and handed him a resignation letter to deliver to Portia. "Now you're resigning because you're coming back to work for me," she told me. Selena wanted Brad to repay Cody's remaining debt by becoming her errand boy again. When Felicia alerted Portia that Selena was present, she left Jordan alone to confront the lady mobster. Portia quickly instructed Selena to exit the building. Selena went, but not before offering Brad some warnings that Portia didn't comprehend. She later texted Brad, inviting him to meet her at the surf lounge. Brad did as instructed and asked Selena to simply let him live his life. He was so close to reclaiming Lucas, but Selena didn't care. "You owe me, and one way or another, your debt will be paid," she told me. Brad then betrayed Portia, who had been growing to trust him. He showed Selena proof that Portia tampered with Heather's test results for cash. She now had influence on the GH chief of staff. While Brad was meeting with his aunt, Lucas met with Alexis in the hospital hallways. She wondered how much he knew about Sam's death. Lucas admitted he knew a lot and had known for a long time. Lucas revealed that after learning how Sam died, he, Elizabeth, and Lucky conducted their own investigation. "So the police knew, and all of you knew, and nobody bothered to say anything to me until after my grandson confronted Cyrus?" Alexis was puzzled by this. Lucas did not want to say anything until they had proof. Alexis didn't care. "I am her mother and deserve to know," she claimed. Alexis remembered Lucas informing them of Sam's death, but the rest of the night was a blur. She was frightened that she had blamed Lucas, which was why he did not attend Sam's burial. Lucas admitted he had visited the chapel, but Danny advised him to leave. Kai took Trina to one of her favorite Port Charles art institutions. He startled her by announcing that he might purchase season passes. He then showed her a new display in which community members may contribute their own artwork. The two donned in white coveralls and set to work painting. Trina claimed Kai's painting had artistic intent, but Kai had no idea what he was doing. "I guess it represents me. I have no idea what I am going to do next. Football was the only thing I knew until you," he told me. Drew must make a decision in the next episode of General Hospital. Stella has some news for Curtis. Chase tells Brook Lynn about his new concept. Will Carly receive the shock of her life? Carly was astonished to learn that Jocelyn had gone to the PCPD on Jason's behalf. She had no idea Jocelyn was participating in the Cyrus probe. She shakes it off and goes to Charlie's, where she meets Jack. Carly, unconcerned, inquires as to what mischief Jack had been up to during their time apart. Jack does not tell Carly that he has just sent her daughter to spy school. However, spoilers suggest that Carly will be disturbed on Thursday. Will Jocelyn ultimately call her mother and put a bomb in her lap? Surely she has a cover narrative for her whereabouts, but nothing could scare Carly more than discovering Jocelyn is now a WSB agent. Laura has issued a warning. After debating which criminal should get access to Pier 54, Mayor Laura appears to have determined that Sunny is the winner. Laura and Sunny's recent conversation demonstrated that Sunny is still her friend, allowing him to continue importing illegal products without consequence. However, Laura has a warning for Sunny. Jen Sidwell wants that area and has tried manipulating Drew to acquire it. Sunny will realize he has a new adversary, but will he connect him to the firebomb in his penthouse? Tracy and Marty are at it again. Marty demands Tracy dismiss her cease and desist injunction against Drew. Marty, Drew's lawyer, informs Tracy that he desires to preserve his name. Brook Lynn, upstairs, continues to cry at her situation. She wants to please Chase, but she also does not want to have Finn's baby. Will she alarm Lois and decide to locate the child she gave up for adoption? Chase meets with Dante in the boxing gym and receives advice. Will Dante tell Chase about the time he and Lulu utilized IVF and had someone close to them agree to carry their child? 5 reasons why Jason Morgan should leave the show. He may not be everyone's hero, just as he may not be everyone's villain. Of course, we're talking about Jason Morgan from General Hospital. 5 reasons why Jason Morgan should leave the show. While many fans were overjoyed to learn that Steve Burton would be returning his role in 2024, there is also widespread speculation that his time in Port Charles may be coming to an end. In fact, we've got 5 reasons why Jason Morgan could want to leave the show altogether. Many General Hospital viewers think that Jason has lost his sense of direction. He wants to care for Sasha's child, but for whatever reason, he is neglecting his own children's needs. His secrets don't make sense. Along with Sasha, Jason keeps the fact that his nephew Michael Corinthos is the father of her child a secret. He also claims to be the father of Sasha's unborn kid, which makes little sense. Why not tell the truth? Anger issues. Back in November 2024, Jason beat up Drew for betraying their nephew Michael by having an affair with his wife. In addition, in order to defend Lucky, he pistol-whipped Sidwell. Jason, tone it down. It appears that Jason Morgan has lost his touch. He is no longer the stone-cold Jason Morgan that everyone remembers from the past. He's lost his emotions. Many General Hospital fans would agree that Jason used to be the man who couldn't keep his emotions in check for anyone and would never put his boys last. Times have undoubtedly changed for him, right? We don't want Jason Morgan if he isn't the same as before. The aroma of champagne lingered in the air as Carly raised her glass, her lips twisting into a knowing smile. The bubbles danced against her tongue, bringing back memories of her time in Germany. Brennan copied her gaze and raised his glass in a silent toast. Their eyes met, and a maelstrom of unspoken words erupted between them. "It's the same one," she mumbled, swirling the liquid as memories flashed before her eyes. Brennan leaned forward, speaking softly and intimately. "I thought you'd appreciate the familiarity." A smirk appeared on Carly's lips as Brennan covered the gap between them, claiming her mouth in a gentle, warm kiss. It was the type that left little space for doubt, brimming with pent-up tension and the thrill of the forbidden. Just as Carly was losing herself in the moment, a little, terrified voice broke through the silence. "Mommy!" Carly snapped back, her maternal instincts taking precedence over everything else. She turned toward the stairs just as Donna appeared, cradling her plush animal close to her bosom. Her golden curls were tangled from sleep, and her wide, anxious eyes were fixed on her mother. Carly placed down her glass and approached her daughter, taking her into her arms. "What is it, sweetheart? A bad dream?" Donna nodded, sniffling on her mother's shoulder. "Why do we have bad dreams?" Before Carly could answer, Brennan stooped down to Donna's level, his eyes kind yet serious. "Dreams are like little movies our minds play while we sleep," he told me. "And when we have bad ones, it's usually because something is bothering us." Donna looked at him attentively, briefly distracted from her anxiety. "How do you know so much?" Brennan laughed. "I studied psychology as part of my job." Donna sighed, content with her response. Carly kissed the top of her head and gently guided her back to the stairs. "Come on, sweetheart. I'll tuck you in again." As Carly and Donna went upstairs, Brennan looked at his phone, his demeanor changing from calm to disturbed as a message flashed across the screen. His jaw clenched as he read it, the warmth from earlier fading. When Carly returned, Brennan had already grabbed his coat. "What's wrong?" she questioned, puzzled at the change in his tone. He said, "Work emergency," and slipped his phone into his pocket. "I have to handle something." Carly groaned, not totally convinced, but she let it go. "All right." "Rain check?" Brennan kissed her on the lips. "Count on it." And then, as quickly as he had appeared, he was gone. At Bobby's, Jocelyn was balancing 2 cups of coffee when her phone rang. She looked down and frowned at the message. Something critical had arisen, and she needed to step away from work. She promptly called Hunter's phone. "Hey, can you cover my shift? I have something I need to take care of." As she hung up, the bell above the entrance jingled, signaling fresh arrivals. Emma and Gio walked in, and Emma's face instantly brightened when she saw Jocelyn behind the counter. "Joss! I was hoping to get a few minutes of your time." Jocelyn was already approaching the register, mentally preparing for the upcoming talk. "What's up?" Emma quickly got to the point. "I want you to join my organization against animal cruelty." Jocelyn didn't mind the idea. In fact, she supported the cause, but she didn't have time to breathe these days, let alone commit to another extracurricular activity. "That's great, Emma, but I've got a lot on my plate right now." Emma refused to back down. "You don't have to do much. Just lend your name to the cause, maybe help with a fundraiser." Before Jocelyn could react, a client waved her over. She stepped back, happy for the momentary respite. Emma's enthusiasm remained unchanged when she returned. "Listen, I was also thinking, since you're connected to so many influential families in Port Charles, you'd be the perfect underwriter for our benefit." Jocelyn did not respond. "You want me to give a speech?" "It would mean a lot," she replied. "This could make a big difference," Jocelyn breathed, attempting to choose her words carefully. "Emma, I support what you're doing, and I'll talk to my family about donating, but I just can't take on anything extra right now." Emma's hopeful face faded, and annoyance crept into her features. "But you," Gio interrupted Emma before she could press any further. "All right, maybe we could have approached this differently." He looked at Jocelyn. "I'm sorry for ambushing you at work." Jocelyn offered him a little nod of thanks before gathering her belongings and headed out the door. Gio immediately went to Emma once she left. "I love your passion, but sometimes you come on too strong." Emma crossed her arms. "I just wanted her help." "I know," Gio responded, smirking. "And I like how much you care, maybe ease up a little next time?" Emma sighed, but nodded. "I guess I could do that." Dante and Chase were nursing their drinks at an adjacent table. Brook Lynn had to flee to deal with an emergency at Deception, Chase explained. Dante observed him, noticing the strain in his shoulders. "Are you okay?" Chase asked before setting his cup down. "Not really." Dante leaned forward. Chase sighed and rubbed the back of his neck. "Talk to me. I can't give Brook Lynn the one thing she wants the most." Dante grimaced. "What do you mean?" Chase breathed deeply. "We discovered that we are unable to have children." Dante paused to process this information before responding. "I know it's not the same, but there are a lot of ways to be a family." "I know," Chase replied. "And I want to be a dad. Brook Lynn wants to be a mom. But this is hard." "For what it's worth," Dante replied, "I think you'd be a great dad." Chase flashed a brief smile, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Thanks, man." He checked the time. "I should get home to her." Dante nodded. "Yeah. Go be with your wife." Chase rose up, and with one more nod to his friend, he walked out into the night, the weight of the revelation still on his shoulders. Sebastian Roche, a General Hospital alum, hinted that villain Jerry Jack's journey is far from over. Jerry Jacks, the villain from General Hospital, has committed a laundry list of misdeeds that is approximately a mile long. Sebastian Roche has played Jerry with gravitas, despite countless robberies, assaults, kidnappings, and murders. A gentleman villain, he is as merciless as he is dashing. Roche has discussed his role as the international criminal from 2007 to 2015, hinting that Jerry may return to Port Charles in the future. You never know on General Hospital. Fans of General Hospital's Sebastian Roche will have little trouble locating him on television, as the actor has been in approximately 120 films and episodes since 1986. He is presently playing Father Renault in the second season of 1923, a prequel series to Yellowstone. Us Weekly got up with the beloved actor, who was in the middle of a 1923 promotional tour. Roche was asked if he will return as General Hospital's sinister and merciless Jerry. He said, "Never say never. No one ever dies." In the show, he laughs, adding, "I don't know how many times I've died." The role was originally played by Julian Stone from 1998 to 1999, and while Jerry had some misdeeds back then, including theft, assault, and bombing, it wasn't until Roche took over in 2007 that Jerry leveled up. His reappearance occurred when Jerry and other masked henchmen took possession of the Metro Court Hotel, holding several people prisoner. In a nod to the show 24, the episodes comprising the plot were told in real time, with Alan Quartermain being the main casualty at the hands of Jerry. Roche explained how the Metro Court hostage crisis became a significant event. "I had no clue it would be this huge. In a way, such a blessing." Jerry was last seen in Port Charles in 2015, when he was apprehended and taken up the river. However, in 2019, Jerry's brother Jasper Jax revealed that the villain managed to escape from Pentonville prison, but he has yet to re-emerge. When asked where Jerry may be, Roche said, "He's probably in the Caribbean, in some gorgeous villa. A little like James Bond. Or somewhere in the South Pacific. But, you know, he is a wanderer. Traveling anonymously, possibly in disguise. I like to see him floating somewhere lovely." When Roche first appeared on the show, he was astonished and happy to be able to improvise. "They would let me be really free," he cheerfully stated, adding, "I found that very, very stimulating as an actor. I truly got the joy again doing it because they valued my work and allowed me just go." He went on to say that, while there are currently no plans for him to return to General Hospital, you never know in these circumstances, on that sort of show. It would be entertaining. General Hospital spoilers, Brennan has Jocelyn just where he wants her. Despite being a bit of a wild card, it's safe to say that Jocelyn Jax never saw herself in the situation she is now in. She proceeded to Cyrus Renault's cabin, looking for any evidence linking him to Dex Heller's killing. She discovered proof and much more when Cyrus caught her red-handed. He attacked Joss with a hatchet, so she fired 2 rounds into his chest, and Cyrus died instantly. The WSB's Jack Brennan had heard the entire scenario from outside the cabin, thus he would not be regarded a credible witness on the stand. He offered to clean up the mess for Joss, and she agreed, but only for a fee. Brennan believes Joss would make an excellent WSB agent. Jack initially brought Joss back to the WSB headquarters to take a shower and dispose of anything in her possession that could link her to Cyrus' death. After she was cleaned up, Jack pointed out all of the characteristics that would make Joss an excellent WSB agent. Her instincts are spot on, and she performs tasks under duress without hesitation. He offered her a position right away, but Joss declined since she was still shocked by the events of the evening. The WSB framed Jason for Cyrus' murder. When Joss learns that Jason Morgan has been arrested for Cyrus' murder, she rushes to Jack, believing he would aid the situation. Instead, he told her that they had planted Jason's DNA at the cabin to link him because the police needed another suspect besides Joss. He assures her that the PCPD will never locate a body, implying that Jason would not face charges in the end. Joss tentatively believes him, and he once more urges her to join them. This time, Jack asks if she is ready to protect and serve her town, and she hesitates slightly. Joss knows that the WSB has Cyrus' body somewhere, and if it is discovered, she will be linked to his death. Jocelyn's choice. Does Joss actually have a choice at this point? She can either freely join the WSB, or they can use her freedom following Cyrus' death as leverage to force her to join. It appears that Jocelyn's ability to make her own decisions is an illusion. What do you think she'll do next? General Hospital spoilers, is Kevin Collins on his way out of Port Charles, and if so, how will he leave? According to General Hospital spoilers, rumors surrounding Kevin Collins' future abound. Lindstrom's debut as Joey Armstrong on the new CBS serial Beyond the Gates this week has fans wondering if Kevin's days in Port Charles are numbered. The renowned doctor has been a fixture on the program since 1993, but his recent appearances have spurred suspicion, especially since we haven't seen him since Christmas time. If Kevin is on his way out, how will the show end such a memorable character? Will Laura be able to move on and meet someone new again? Is this the end for Kevin and Laura, so that fans will accept her single status and allow for a final return to the canvas from a presumed dead Luke Spencer? Lindstrom's casting in BTG has sparked exit rumors. Playing a charismatic casino owner in a new daytime drama may need more of his time, especially as BTG seeks to carve a niche. Kevin's recent departure from GH, despite his wife, Laura Collins, dealing with difficulties such as Jen Sidwell's arrival and having a serial killer brother, further adds to the stress. Lindstrom's track record of juggling projects implies that he could handle both responsibilities, but with no official word from GH on his status, fans are left to wonder if Kevin's departure is impending. If so, the how becomes the burning question. GH spoilers reveal possible exit scenarios if Kevin's departure is inevitable. GH has options, some terrible, some open-ended. One option has Kevin leaving town momentarily, perhaps to consult on a case elsewhere, leaving the door open for Lindstrom's return, possibly as his never-dead later ego, Ryan Chamberlain. A calmer exit may involve Kevin's marriage to Laura collapsing under her mayoral pressures, causing him to pull back. Whatever the outcome, Laura's reaction will be critical, likely shaking Port Charles to its foundation. General Hospital spoilers, poor Laura stands to suffer the most if Kevin leaves, and her reaction could change the show's trajectory. If Kevin is killed, Laura's grief may drive her to a darker, more vindictive arc, affecting relationships with allies like as Jordan Ashford and possibly Sonny Corinthos. A voluntary departure, such as leaving for work or splitting up, could isolate her as mayor, causing her to rely on family members such as Lucky Spencer and Lulu Spencer. Chase gets an idea, Joss makes a decision, and Drew lies yet again. Brook, Lynn Quartermaine and Harrison Chase are discussing, and he tells her that he has a way for them to have their own baby. He advises that they approach his brother Finn to be the donor. The thought makes her uneasy since she is unsure if Finn will want to see his brother raise his biological child. She apologizes for not giving Chase the reaction he expected, but she does not want their kid to feel like a consolation prize. Later, Brook Lynn informs Lois Cerullo that Chase wants Finn to be their sperm donor. Lois confesses that she and BLQ were both surprised by the suggestion. Trina falls for Kai. Trina Robinson is still painting when Kai Taylor notices her work and compliments her on it. They had a talk about how her initial pushiness has morphed into inspiration. He wasn't sure what road he'd choose after being disabled, but her enthusiasm for painting is beginning to rub off on him. As Trina begins to climb down her ladder, she loses her balance. Kai catches her, which leads to their first kiss. Curtis and Aunt Stella work together to take down Drew. Curtis Ashford meets Aunt Stella on GH. She informs him that she has contacted Congressman Henderson and feels there is a chance to bring down Drew Quartermaine. Curtis claims that he must persuade Henderson that Drew is only concerned with his own interests rather than the greater benefit of his constituency. He asks Stells which approach to adopt. She recommends they role play, so Curtis makes his argument to Stella while pretending she is Congressman Henderson. It sounds excellent to her, and she hopes it will work. Jocelyn makes her decision. Jocelyn Jax is still surprised that Jack Brennan is pushing her to join the WSB. She claims to be only a college student, to which Jack responds that she possesses all of the characteristics of a good spy. She cites all of the things that make her incapable, and he dismisses them, saying that she has always done what was necessary. Brennan informs her that she will be operating as a secret spy. She will be given covert tales and lies to tell her family and friends since covert operations are what changed the court system. He offers her a life in which she can use all of her skills. Joss recognizes that by killing Cyrus, she done something significant since she spared other lives. Brennan tells Joss that she does not need to kill anyone, instead, she will pretend to be a college student and gain access to places he cannot. Has choices. She has the option of making a difference in the world or returning to college and never discussing their chats with anyone. Joss informs Jack that she wants to work for the WSB, for herself, and for Dex. Tracy Quartermaine walks into the Quartermaine living room and announces that the judge has issued a cease and desist order, prohibiting Drew Kane from using the Quartermaine name. Tracy claims that they must defend their brand. Ned Quartermaine, Olivia Quartermaine, and Lois all believe that a congressman would benefit their brand, but Tracy has made up her decision. Gio Palmieri speaks up and inquires about Scout, because if they remove Quartermaine from her father's name, what about her surname? He claims that bearing his father's last name has brought him closer to him. Gio tells Tracy that family is family, and judging them won't change that. Tracy informs Gio that he is not a Quartermaine, so his viewpoint is ultimately irrelevant. Drew lies at Jason's expense. Jason Morgan has told the PCPD that he was with Drew when Cyrus Renault went missing, and in front of Carly Spencer, Willow Corinthos, Anna Devane, and ADA Turner, Drew claims Jason is lying and that he was at home alone. The ADA requests that Drew sign a statement stating that he was not with Jason, and he complies. Carly confronts Drew, asking him to tell the truth for once. Instead, he asserts that as a congressman, he cannot lie for his brother. Only Willow and the ADA think Drew is speaking the truth. Carly attempts to encourage Willow to think for herself. She reminds out that Jason would never have said Drew is his alibi if it wasn't true because he knows Drew won't lie for him. She also informs Willow that she is having an affair with a man who does not actually exist. Anna tells Turner that she's getting ahead of herself, but it's okay because she's officially off the case. Diane Miller arrives and informs the ADA that she wishes to meet Jason. When she sees him, he tells her he went to Sam's cemetery before visiting Drew. They need to figure out who else intended to kill Cyrus and who was professional enough to clean the cabin and then place Jason's hair inside. Anna tells Jason that she can't help because she was removed from his case. She promises him that she will discover Cyrus' body, but Jason says that won't happen. Clearly, Cyrus was eliminated by a professional, thus there will be no bodies. Diane gets Jason released and has filed a motion to have the case dismissed outright. Anna informs Carly that it is not over because if the ADA's office finds his body, Jason will be arrested. Drew and Willow return to his home, and she feels awful that everyone is labeling him a liar. He inquired if she had any questions for him, and Willow declined, once again blindly believing him. Willow is irritated because Carly does not believe she is choosing to be with Drew and think for herself. She wants the world to know about their commitment and informs Drew that she is ready to relocate herself and her children into his home. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.